You think a wedding means an open bar and awkward dancing. At a Viking wedding, the bar is a weapon, and the dancing is a warm-up for combat. Your job isn't to have fun. It's to survive the next several days without insulting a god, a host, or a cousin with a sword. I'll walk you through 5 trials: mead, mock battles and duels, bride customs, omens, and the honeymoon hideout. You'll learn what each custom was, why it mattered, and how not to die socially, or literally. Keep your health bar visible. It starts full. It won't stay that way. The doors swing open, the heat of the hearth hits your face, and a horn big enough to baptize a goat is already in your hands. Declining isn't an option. In this hall, refusing a horn isn't, "I'm pacing myself." It reads as, "Your hospitality isn't worth my thirst." That's how you get moved from the bench to the problem list. So yes, drink, just not like a hero with no tomorrow. Here's the thing most people miss. Drinking here isn't freestyle. It's choreographed. Ale running is baked into the event. Servers cycle horns, and the order of toasts is part politics, part prayer. The host drinks first, the groom second, elders third, then friends and allies in a careful ripple. If you cut the line or outpace the elders, your health bar drops and your social shield shatters. What to do instead? Adopt the rhythm. Toast, touch, wet lips, pass. Say the name of the person being honored, lift the horn, let it kiss your lips, and hand it on. The quick win is to clock the order early. Host, groom, elders. If you remember nothing else, remember that sequence. It buys you respect points and breathing room. Now the trick nobody teaches. After the first circuit, quietly swap to a smaller horn. This isn't cowardice, it's logistics. Big horn is for public rounds. Small horn is your personal cup, the one you manage. Keep it visible, keep it moving, and it looks like you're fully engaged while you're actually controlling intake. The reason this works is simple. Perception is the currency in the hall. They need to see you in the current, not swimming for shore. Common mistakes will get you wrecked fast. Don't chug ceremonial rounds. These aren't frat victories. They're vows in liquid form. Don't skip the final blessing toast before a course. The silence that follows will make you feel the temperature drop. And unless you've been coached otherwise, don't grab with your left hand. It's read as sloppy at best, disrespectful at worst. Right hand, steady eye contact, a brief nod, done. Your phrases for survival are short and neutral. Good ale, strong company. May the house stand. If someone pushes a heavy pour, defer with a grin, save me for the victory toast. That line signals you're here for the long game, not quitting, just pacing. It also opens a loop. People get curious about what victory means and move on to prepare their own moment. There's a health bar on your evening, and you can feel it ticking. Alcohol drains it. Visible participation restores it. Your goal is balance. Every time you manage a round cleanly, you stabilize. Every time you overdo it, your judgment goes soft. Dangerous in a timber room, full of edge weapons and old arguments. Quick micro story. Last winter, I watched a guest decide he'd had enough and slip toward the door. 2 housecarls caught him by the shoulders, steered him back, and loaded him with a horn for the road, which turned into 2 horns for the road, which turned into a stumble, across the rushes, and a roaring cheer. His health bar went from orange to flashing red in a minute. Not because anyone was cruel, because leaving before the host gives a signal reads like you're shunning the hall. So how do you leave the current without making waves? You don't Irish goodbye. You claim a task. Firewood? Need water? I can help with seating the cousins from the fjord. Give yourself a job that takes you outside for cold air and time. When you return, you've extended care to the house, which adds a little armor back to your social bar. Let me show you the survival pattern in motion. Horn comes to you, you lift to the host, wet lips pass. You glance to see who's next. Don't make them wait, don't cross streams. A server tries to refill your smaller horn. You touch 2 fingers over the rim, 4 later. They nod. You take a piece of bread and broth when it appears. Mead on an empty stomach is a dual invite. The reason this works is blood sugar equals judgment. Keep it up, source card. Saga references mention communal horns and ordered toasts. Archaeology gives us the horns and cups to back it. You don't need the footnote tonight, just the habit. Now the room is loud and warm, and the horns are moving faster. Someone makes a boast. Another answers with a shove. Here's where most people mess up. They're woozy from round 3 and think a joke will cool it down. Mead says you're clever. Blades say you're not. Rotate to water. Claim the kindling run and breathe. You've survived the pour. The hall now wants entertainment, and that's when things get physical. You've kept pace with the horns, but the hall's temperature just climbed. Boasts are currency here, and every coin has an edge. Status is public, and when pride gets dented, the fix is also public. Now, most feasts never reach steel, but the slope is greased. Tease, boast, shove, challenge. If you're fuzzy from mead, you won't see the rungs until you're standing in a ring of men who suddenly look very interested. Here's the thing most people miss. A duel, a home gang, isn't only 2 hotheads and a patch of ground. It's a legal repair kit for reputation. You insult me, I can't walk around with a dented name. We either trade silver, trade words, or trade blows. Feasts give you the worst place to gamble, because the crowd turns every nudge into a chorus. Your goal is simple. Spot the swell before it breaks. Watch the escalation ladder. It starts with a light jab about farms, fathers, or feats. Laugh with it, not at it. If the other guy repeats the jab louder, that's a boast test. Don't counterpunch. Pivot to self-deprecation. My city hands can lift a quill, not your axe. You lower the temperature by handing them a win they didn't earn. Pride fed is pride soothed. Now, the secret mistake that gets outsiders wrecked. Wiping a spill onto someone else's cloak. You're holding a horn. Someone bumps you. Mead runs down your fingers. If you swipe it off on their wool, you just signaled contempt. That move reads like saying their gear is your rag. Use your own cloak. Even better, use the rushes at your feet. I've watched peace turn to squared shoulders on that one flick of the wrist. Let me show you the de-escalation toolkit that actually works. Praise their weapon. Good balance on that Sayax. Who forged it? And shift the story to craft. Blame your clumsiness on city hands, sea legs, or cold fingers. Offer a substitute contest with a smile. Bone lifting, tug of war, log carry. These let the hall cheer. Keep steel sheathed, and still let the other person display. The reason this works is you convert a dignity debt into a spectacle credit. Microstory. Last summer, 2 cousins started shoulder checking near the high seat. One called the other soft as curds. It was rolling downhill fast. I stepped in, palms out, and said, I can't judge the curds, but I can count. First to carry that log to the door and back without drops wins. I volunteered to referee. They switched to grins. The hall roared, and the only blood was a splinter. Honor saved. Duel evaporated. If someone presses toward challenge language, name witnesses, take ground, stand to it, you need social shields. Move near elders or the law speaker. Their presence changes the math. The hall weighs fines, kin ties, and tomorrow's work. People think twice about making a mess in front of the people who clean messes with silver and shame. Also, mind your feet. Don't let yourself get shepherded into a cleared space. Rings form before words do. Common mistakes beyond the cloak wipe. Don't nickname anyone you just met. Don't clap a shoulder mid-speech. Don't match volume for volume. Mead tells you that louder is funnier. It's not. Lowering your voice makes them lean in and kills the crowd effect. If a shove lands, don't shove back. Straighten, breathe, and put your palm over your heart. My fault. The gesture buys you seconds. Use them to redirect to a game. And if, despite all that, someone draws steel, do not mirror. That's the one move that deletes your health bar. Hands open, step back, eyes down, but not closed, and speak to the nearest elder. I've wronged him. I'll pay for peace. Offer a small wager. Silver, ring, knife, labor. Compensation is part of the culture. Give it a path. The reason this works is it honors the repair ritual without feeding the fire. Source card. Sagas lay out duel scenes and insult chains. Legal codes preserve compensation rules and challenge language. You don't need the parchment tonight, just the pattern. Keep your pride leashed, steer heat into games, and borrow the authority of elders. Your adrenaline will spike, then settle when you score a non-combat win. Draw steel, and it crashes. You've held the line. Now the hall pivots to the bride customs, where the rules get trickier and the floor gets narrower. The volume drops by a half, which means the stakes just doubled. What comes next isn't brawling, it's business. Marriage here is alliance, land, and law, wrapped in song. If you treat this part like cute pageantry, your health bar takes a silent, heavy hit you won't see coming until a grim uncle is staring holes through your skull. First, know what's actually happening. The bride price and dowry aren't romantic extras. They're the contract. The groom's side pledges value: silver, livestock, fine cloth, acknowledging the bride's worth and her family standing. The bride brings dowry, property, and goods that remain hers. A mourning gift comes after. These exchanges are witnessed, spoken, and remembered because they decide who can claim what when winter gets lean or tempers get hot. Your job is simple. Watch, respect the line, add nothing. Here's the thing most people miss. Your nice personal gift can read like a claim. A carved comb? Intimate. A lock of hair in a brooch? Absolutely not. You want durable, impersonal, and useful. A small iron knife with a plain sheath. A spindle whirl. A length of good cord. Offer it publicly, briefly, and to the household, not the bride's hand. Say, a small token for the house, and step back. You've contributed without tagging yourself to the couple. Positioning matters now. Stand behind the groom's supporters unless someone waves you forward. Do not drift into the channel between bride and kin during processions. That path is more than space. It's the artery of status. Block it and you'll feel the air change. If the bride running kicks off, a mock procession where the bride is escorted or playfully taken toward the groom's side, cheer from the flank. Do not chase, tug, or help unless called by name. You're not comic relief. You're background safety. Touch protocol is strict. Hands where people can see them. No helpful shoulder taps. No guiding elbows. If the time comes to present your small gift, wait for a clear pause. Speak to a household elder and let them pass it forward. That layer keeps you inside the lane. and gives them the honor of handling the flow. The reason this works is simple. You're recognizing that kinship owns the moment, not you. Compliments must carry weight, not heat. Praisecraft, lineage, and good stewardship. Fine weave on that cloak. The shuttle was steady. Your mother's house raises strong stock. Keep it brief, let the elder reply, and nod. Do not lead with beauty, and definitely don't compare features. This isn't courtly flirting. It's civic ceremony dressed in wool. Micro-story. I watched a guest point at a bride's cloak and say, "That border is tight work, whose loom?" An aunt stepped forward, chin up. He asked 2 questions about the pattern and the dye, admired the edge finish, and offered a small spindle whirl wrapped in cloth for your craft. He was seated 2 benches closer by the next course. He praised the house, not the body, and the house rewarded him. The mistake list here is quiet but lethal. Don't linger near the dowry chest. Don't ask numbers. Don't compare one family's gift pile to another's, even as a joke. Don't step onto the high seat platform to get a better view. If someone invites you closer, say, "Glad to witness," and stand. Don't kneel. Kneeling reads like oath-taking, and you're not swearing anything today. Exit strategy. When the run begins, escort elders. Offer an arm to someone with years or honors. You gain status without crossing wires, and you physically place yourself where nobody expects speed or bravado. The hall notices who steadies the old while the young make noise. Source card. Law codes spell out dowry and morning gift rules. Sagas show public processions and gift exchanges. You don't need citations on your tongue, just the posture. If you hold these boundaries, gift without intimacy, cheer without intrusion, praise without heat, your health bar climbs slowly and safely. Break the lane, and it drops like a stone. The hall goes quiet, the aunties sharpen, and you won't see the spear of sarcasm until it lands. Steady now. The room is about to look at the sky and the altar, and that's when silence becomes dangerous. The hall exhales, benches scrape, horns settle, and someone brings in a bowl that still steams. This is where noise becomes meaning. If you treat the rites like background music, you'll step on a drum you didn't know was there. Offending a man is negotiable. Offending a god is expensive. Here's the thing most people miss. You're not here to understand the omen. You're here to honor the process. Sacrifice, silence, and sign reading are community glue. The host isn't just throwing a party. He's proving he can feed mouths and satisfy powers. If your face says, "Cute superstition," your name becomes the mouth that won't be invited again. So what do you actually do? Mirror the host. If they stand, you stand. If they lift a horn, you lift yours. If they pause, you pause and close your lips. Nod once at the end of a reading. Don't interpret. Don't whisper a take. Don't point at the sky. Let a housecarl speak for you if someone asks your thoughts. We're honored to witness is all the content they need from a guest. Language shields are short and safe. May your house stand. Good seasons to your fields, strength to your kin. These blessings travel anywhere without stepping on local theology. The reason this works is you're sending goodwill without pretending to be part of the priesthood. Respect lands. Performance backfires. Now the don'ts, because this is where people get exiled socially. Do not correct a reading, even if you studied 3 books on rune staves last semester. Do not joke during the moment of silence. Even a cough can ripple. If it happens, cover immediately with a blessing. May the gods hear only what's good. You're patching the fabric. And absolutely do not spit near the altar, the bowl, or the high seat. Hearth, blood, and oath spots are off limits to casual habits. Let me show you exactly how to ride this. The officiant could be a Godi, could be a respected elder, lays a hand on the boar's head, speaks names, pours a measure. You keep your eyes soft, not probing. When the horn reaches you, you lift just enough, wet lips, pass. If they mark a sign on the bowl's rim, you don't crane for a look. You look at the host's face instead. Their calm is your cue. The reason this works is you're aligning with authority, not the spectacle. Quick win move most guests miss. Offer a small favor right after the rite. Want me to fetch water? Where do you want the candles? I'll help clear this rush mat. People read that as pious support, not busybody meddling. You've turned reverence into action, and the house files your name under useful. Micro story. I watched a man choke on a crumb exactly when the room fell silent for an omen. Head snapped. He slapped his chest, recovered, and then, smart, lifted his horn and said, "May your barns be heavy and your roads be light." Laughter rose just enough. The tension bled, and the reader picked up the thread. He didn't explain. He blessed. Common mistakes beyond the obvious. Don't ask what the omen means for the stock market. Don't stage whisper translations for friends. Don't touch ritual tools. If a blood-sprinkling brush passes, keep your hands tucked. If a ring is placed for oaths, don't lean on the table. Furniture near symbols might as well be the symbols. Oaths at weddings are adhesive. Men will swear to future aid, to fair dealing, to witness the bride's rights. If someone asks you to witness an oath, say, "Glad to stand, may your words hold." If they nudge you to swear one, backstep with respect. I'm a guest, not kin. Let me carry water while kin bind words. That line signals respect for boundaries and offers labor in exchange for inclusion. Source card. Sagas set scenes with sacrifices and seers. Archaeology gives feasting debris and offering traces. You don't need chapter and verse, just posture and timing. Your health bar here is slow gain territory, quiet, mirroring, and a useful errand gives steady green ticks. Interrupt, scoff, or fumble near sacred space and the bar plunges. The rites end. The couple is blessed, and then they vanish into seclusion. Your final test is knowing when not to look. The rites close, the hall exhales again, and the couple disappears. Not metaphorically. They're in a side room, a tent, or a screened alcove with attendants guarding the perimeter. This seclusion isn't shy romance. It's proof and protection. The union gets sealed in private, and the house shows it can provision the new unit. Your job for the next stretch: celebrate loudly out here. Never pry in there. Here's the thing most people miss. Hovering near the curtain reads like doubt. Doubt about the match, doubt about the groom, doubt about the family's honor. That doubt can earn you a personal escort outside with emphasis. So you treat the boundary like a cliff edge. If someone asks for a delivery, accept the task like a courier, not a cousin. You knock, announce, set the tray on the threshold, and step back before you finish the sentence. Eyes down, turn away. The reason this works is it respects both privacy and proof without putting you in the story. Provisioning is now a survival skill, for them and for you. The feast doesn't stop because the couple vanished. Horns still move, songs still rise. If you try to ride mead alone for 2 or 3 days, your health bar will look like a candle in a wind. Pack sober food early or befriend the person who's carrying bread, broth, and dried meat. Every bowl of stew is a deposit in the bank of judgment. And yes, water still exists. chase rounds with it, and you'll keep your steps under your own command. Roleplay is safety. The people who make it through long feasts without drama are the ones who become useful fixtures: fire, gate, kettle, wood. Volunteer for night watch at the gate. It keeps you at the edge of the storm, makes you visible to the right eyes, and gives your hand something better to hold than a fourth horn. Offer to tend the hearth or carry in extra logs. Nobody argues with the person who keeps the heat steady. Microstory. I heard a rumor swirl. Someone said a rival was going to test the groom before dawn near the tent. Two young men started marching that way with big opinions and bigger shoulders. I caught them at the door, pointed at the dark field and said, "Night watch needs eyes. First to spot a fox by the fence wins a ring." They peeled off, turned the heat into a contest, and the tent stayed a quiet rumor instead of a noisy incident. The hall got a story. Nobody got cut. Common mistakes here are silent and sharp. Don't sing bawdy songs within earshot of the curtain. Don't pound the wall as a joke. Don't dare the groom's friends to prove anything. Don't tell stories that compare this wedding to another family's wedding. And above all, do not sneak close to listen. That single bad idea can zero your health bar faster than steel, because it says you don't trust the house to manage its own honor. Exit timing matters. Weddings can stretch. The worst trouble tends to bloom late, when the seasoned people have gone home and the stubborn remain. Leave at dawn, not midnight. You present a small gift to the host, a pouch of salt, a bit of good cord, a simple tool, and say, "Your haul was generous. I'll return at season's turn." That line pays respect, sets a future, and lets you slip away before the final overdrink begins. The reason this works is you end on a high note, while your name is still tied to help, not clean up. Source card. The word roots and saga mentions give us seclusion, attendance, and long feasts. The logic of privacy and provisioning shows up across accounts. You don't need the philology, just the perimeter. Your health bar stabilizes now with sleep, food, and useful tasks. When in doubt, choose distance over curiosity. You celebrate the house by not becoming the story the house has to fix. The lesson is simple. Match the hall's rhythm. Sip with purpose. Turn heat into games. Gift without intimacy. Mirror the rites and treat the tent like a sacred border. If you want to master dual law and the art of de-escalation, watch my deep dive next. Subscribe for the full survival series on medieval feasts, funerals, and coronations. And tell me where your health bar dropped lowest and what saved it.